y'all, I sit down at the table just like I'm sitting down right now. My head was still down the whole time. I sit down just like this. I was like, all right, close it up. I look up, and just as I look up, just like I look at her now, I look up. She's sitting right across from me, like right across from me. As soon as I looked up and was like, damn.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, yeah, it's her. As soon as I looked up, I was like, it's her. It's her. That's her. It's her.
We'd like to welcome you back to another wonderful episode of the Beyond I Do podcast. And we have a treat for you guys. We have a new couple.
They are a new couple,
2 years in.
They have a lot of wisdom.
Well, about to celebrate 2 years.
At the time of recording.
At the time of recording. And they got a wonderful story. And you are not going to want to miss it.
All right, here we go. Jaylee and Chana, if you would please tell us a little bit about yourselves individually, and then we'll get into how you two met.
You want to go first?
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Jaylee Duncan. I'm originally from Kansas City, born and raised, former military. My background is in engineering. Currently, I'm a maintenance manager. I've been doing that pretty much all my adult life. Currently, now an author, just released a new book, and promoting that, and now still husband, dad, and best friend, comedian, entertainer, maintenance man at home. I'm just jack of all trades for my family, so that's me.
All right.
Yeah, and my name is Chana Duncan, originally from Germany, military brat, so been all over the place. Came to Texas back in 2017, so I've been here since. Background is currently in contract management, and yeah. So we have a blended family. I have 3, he has 3. Together we have 6 kids. So we call ourselves the Black Brady Bunch because we have 3 girls and 3 boys.
All right.
From ages 8 to 23.
I'm sorry. How many girls?
3 girls and 3 boys.
Okay. At least there's balance.
Yeah.
There's balance.
Yeah, it is. And their ages is, like I said, ranging from 8 to 23.
Wow. Our baby will be 24 on the 24th of this month. So
the baby?
We're on the end of, yes, the baby.
Wow.
Yes, the baby.
Okay.
So thankful for that.
One day.
We're looking forward to
be like y'all when I grow up.
It's a lovely place to be.
Yeah.
We're looking forward to becoming empty nesters, that's for sure.
Right. But I mean, there's fun along the way. So
Yep.
If you would tell us, this is the part that I'm ready to get to, because I remember there was a couple of variations that we heard. So if you would tell us about how you two met, and do we have to get 2 separate stories, or are we gonna have a consensus?
She pretty much put me in a headlock and was like, "You finna." And I was like, "Yes, no."
Go with me.
There's always 3 sides to a story, even though we were both there. But do you want the short version or the long version?
Whichever one you want to share.
Well, this is actually my favorite story for him to tell.
No. Go ahead. I'm always telling the story. So.
That's why it's my favorite story, because when you tell it, it just makes me just remember everything all over again. So, go ahead. Tell it.
But I'm under the weather. You can't do me a favor and save me this one time.
You say it so much better.
All right. Okay.
Oh.
Then I'm doing the short version, but I'll keep the major details.
We'll accept that.
Okay, so I had started kind of like at some point before I even started. We ended up meeting at work, but I didn't work there prior to us meeting. I was a new employee; she was already there. But prior to me taking the job, I started getting. I had a whole other company I was working with, And I started having these dreams like that I was finna get a new job. And at the time, I'm like, why am I dreaming about having a new job? Like, I'm comfortable where I'm at. Like, that was kind of really weird. Then all of a sudden, I started having dreams that I was gonna meet my wife at my new job, and I'm thinking like, where is this coming from? Like, there's no way. Like, that's the furthest thing from my mind. Well, all of a sudden, the company shut down our plant, and I had an opportunity to take a package where I could just leave, and the severance package I signed and took a lump sum of money, and I'm out of there. So I'm like, all right, I find this new position. Okay, now guess I am finding a new job. so,
Yep.
so then the job came in. As I'm like filling out all the background information stuff for the job, I constantly keep having this same dream that I'm going to meet this woman and this is going to be my wife. And I'm still like, all right, God, what are you trying to tell me here? Like this dream is you having a little too often, and it was like the same dream. So I get to the warehouse and I'm walking around, I'm looking, and I ain't gonna even lie to y'all. I'm looking around the warehouse and I'm like, oh no, like this can't be it. If this is what I got to select from, I'm good. Like, I love you, Lord, but God, dog, like
You're coming, huh?
yeah, like you sure didn't give me much to pick from, and I just don't want to do it. So I was just throwing the flag on the play. I was done. I just like for real, I seriously gave up. Like I'm like, no, I'm not doing this. Like if this is what you got for me, guy, I can't. I'm not doing it.
Walked into a warehouse full of wildebeest. So.
Yeah, like I just I typically don't like my cars with much mileage on it, and the way he was looking around there, I'm no. So I told you I was a comedian, family. Let me keep going. So next thing I know, they take me to this meeting. I got my book in hand, right? Mind you, I got this book of like stuff in my hand, like I'm writing down notes because I'm new. And I'm coming, I'm a new manager, and I'm trying to make sure I meet everybody and write down as much as possible. So I got my notes in my hand. They bring me to this meeting. So I come down and I sit down in this chair, but the chair was like on the side of the wall. Now, mind you, all the managers were at a conference room table, but I decided to sit on the wall. So I'm sitting there on the wall, and I'm getting ready to start writing notes. And I thought to myself, like, nah, fool, you a manager. You're supposed to be sitting at the table. Mind you, I still ain't even looked up yet. Like, my head was down. I'm in the paper in my notes. So I get up, like, let me go sit at the table. Y'all, I sit down at the table, just like I'm sitting down right now. My head was still down the whole time. I sit down just like this. I was like, all right, close it up. I look up, and just as I look up, just like I look at her now, I look up. She's sitting right across from me, like right across from me. As soon as I looked up and was like, damn.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, yeah, it's her. As soon as I looked up, I was like, it's her. It's her. That's her. It's her. And I was just like, oh man. I was like, God, dog, all right, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't even do it. Nope. This is at work. You ain't supposed to, I don't know, Byron. They tell us we're not supposed to, shit where we eat. Like, we're not supposed to do that at work.
Yeah.
Like, because it's bad, and then you don't want to do that, right? So that's why I'm like, don't do it. Don't do it. But I'm like, no, that's her. So he wouldn't have been showing you these dreams and keep doing this if it wasn't her. So I did the coolest thing I could without making it obvious. She had to start kind of flirting too. She knew what she was up to. She wanted to admit it, but she dropped the napkin. I'm telling y'all, y'all know what I mean by she dropped the napkin. She dropped the handkerchief. She dropped the handkerchief and just was like,
Yeah.
So she dropped the handkerchief. I picked it up and was like, she was like, well, I got some questions for you about some of the machines. And I was kind of like, yeah, anything you need. She was like, same here. If you need anything, just reach out. So in my mind, that meant ask me for my number, fool, because
Yeah.
Now,
you don't realize I'm telling you, I'm interested. That's how I took the napkin, and I did. So I ended up emailing her. I mean, I came up with the lamest excuse. I was just like, so I don't know how to use the printer. Can you print this stuff out for me? No, wait. Look, wait. At her job, you can't. I was a contractor, so if you weren't like an actual employee, you had to use your badge to print. So I was being honest. I really did need the prints, but I probably could have asked anybody for those prints.
Right.
So that was my excuse, and from there, I just kept in contact, and every
Well-
time I seen her, I stopped and talked until
Yes.
we went out.
Yep. I would say 2 weeks later, we exchanged numbers. I
I
actually.
gotta get some tissue.
Oh, sorry. Yes, get some tissue. Actually, approximately 2 weeks later, because I have that date saved in the calendar. For the first time, we exchanged numbers. I believe that was September 7th. I believe the calendar reminds me. And then we went on our first official date, September 17th, which was to a concert, Key Sweat. Uh,
Oh,
who else was it?
Oh.
Genuine. It was a lot of
Making it last forever.
So y'all-
Yeah, it was a great. It was
went in
great.
knowing.
It was
Right.
fun. It was memorable. He got
Tony.
front row tickets.
All right.
He even jumped out over the fence and started singing as Genuine was passing by.
What
Genuine
Oh.
was like, "Hey, dude, get out the way."
some stuff supposed to be left for
He started singing and pouring his heart out.
no. You wouldn't. You wouldn't tell that part of the
Okay,
story.
well, look, other people did it, and they saw it too. But
Chana, I just want to go
yes.
back. I want to go back, and I want to know at that table
Yeah.
when
That's
y'all
all.
made eye contact. What was your thought?
Yeah.
my thought, I was like, well, so at the time I was the only black manager up in there, right?
Mhm.
So it was nice to see another black manager. That was the first thought. The second
Mhm.
one was I've seen him in passing because I knew that he was coming, right? So I've seen him, but didn't really pay any mind to it. But when he actually, I didn't. But when
She
he
was
actually,
looking for me, y'all. But go ahead.
no. I would like I say I was just ecstatic that there was another black manager, right? Because
Right.
there's not too many in there. So when he sat down for the first time and right in front of me, I was like, he's kind of cute. He's not bad looking. But that was it. That's as far as it went.
So,
Mm.
so when you said if you need anything, like you meant in terms of work.
No, definitely. Yes, I did.
Okay. Yeah.
Because when we first met, I wasn't in contract management. I was actually in procurement. So I was procuring products that was needed for operations to run. And there was a big machine that operates there. And I had questions about it. So that's
Okay.
why I was like, you are the right person for me to get this information from.
Mm.
And I meant
He just
that.
took
That's
it
what
and
that
ran.
was. So I didn't think that it was going to go any further past that. But,
So let me ask you this. Now, when he, at some point in time, he told you that, look, I had this dream that I was going to lose my job and find my wife, and it was you. So how did you feel? Or what was your reaction when he told you that?
So I didn't find that out until later, right?
Okay.
He didn't tell me right up front. This was some months later. But he did tell me beforehand that he knew that he was going to meet someone who was potentially his wife, but he didn't mention the dreams like that until again later. So at first, when I first heard it, I thought that's really sweet, but I'm like, BS.
Okay.
I-
No, I was about to say because she didn't believe
yeah,
it.
yeah, I was like,
You don't have to do all that.
yeah, I was like, because
You're
I'm
doing
like,
too
I've
much
never
now.
heard anybody speak on me like that before. Like, they
Mhm.
were like God delivered him to me. So
Right.
after I've heard him repeat that story several times thereafter, I mean, word for word, nothing changed. When you lie, you start getting
Right.
key details and things change up. So that told me right then and there, wow, he's telling the truth. And to this day, word for word. So yeah, I became a believer of him when once I started hearing it was the exact same thing.
Then now she knows like I'm a dreamer, so I've been having that gift since I was a kid. Like God speaks to me and my family. Like we'll see stuff in our dreams that get revealed. I don't really worry about things because most of the time I'm going to find out or know about something or give someone a warning about something before it
Right.
was getting ready to happen. It's crazy. It happened to one of our friends here about 2 months ago. I had a dream and called him. I was like, "Hey man, look, something's coming. Y'all need to be on edge, be watchful." And first they was like, "Oh no, we good. We ain't worried about nothing."
Yep, 2 weeks later.
Exact to the T, everything I told them.
Mm.
Mhm.
Wow.
Yep.
So how did you said that was a couple of months after? Did that put pressure on you at that point, or were you comfortable with him at that
No,
point?
I was very much comfortable with him at that point. Like it moved at a very fast pace,
Mm-hmm.
unexpectedly, but it happened the way it was intended to happen. Uh, what in what for about 8 months later? I think it was 8 months later. Yeah, on my birthday, actually, he proposed to me. So it was beautiful. Family was there, and then we got married on the anniversary of our first date, September 17th.
Mm-hmm.
So it
Yeah.
happened like quick.
And
Yeah.
y'all
That's
have an
beautiful.
anniversary coming up.
Yes,
Yep.
ma'am.
That's
Yes.
so exciting. So you just mentioned family with that swiftness. Was family supportive?
So,
I
so,
already know. I already know.
so it wasn't easy.
Girl, you just met this Negro. What you talking about
Yeah,
marrying him?
yeah. It wasn't easy at first, especially with us both having kids from prior relationships.
Right.
So it was not easy at first, but I mean, it was like once they met him,
Mm-hmm.
and they just learned they loved him, they just grew for him and just
Mm,
it was no problem after that.
Right.
Now I'm
yeah.
going to say this, not all family
Right.
uh,
Yeah. We
gave
know.
in right away,
Some
We
Right.
know.
still haven't.
We know.
Look,
you know, but
27 years
27
later,
years and some of them still
some
side
still
eye.
haven't.
Yeah.
but
Yeah, yeah.
it's like the most important members that mean the most to us is they've accepted both of us. His
Right.
wife accepted me, and mine's accepted him, and I mean we're just one big happy family. So couldn't ask for nothing more.
That's beautiful.
And the kids how did the kids adjust?
So
You good. You real good at this. You so talented, young lady. I swear, you nailed it.
it was a little tough at first, particularly for my son, right,
Mm-hmm.
our son. But then of course he was, it was a little tough for him at first because he was just like, okay, who are you? No, I'm the man of the house. Is how he was. That
Right.
time he
Yeah.
was what, 15? No,
16.
16.
Oh yeah, that's
16.
a
Yeah,
Oh,
because
yeah.
he just turned. He was turning seven. What age did he
He was turning
turn? Turning
17.
17
oh
because
yeah,
he's
Oh, yeah.
oh yeah.
20 now. So it really didn't take him a long time, but by the time he proposed to me, I mean they was just like ace buku.
Mm,
My daughter, almost immediately she fell for him, and then my oldest, he was like, hey, as long as you treat my mama well,
He ain't tripping.
Right.
yeah, he's good,
that's
And then of course I had to meet his from the prior relationship as well. The oldest, it was not a problem. It was she had to get acclimated with me.
Mm-hmm,
And
mm-hmm.
the
mm,
younger two, it was almost immediately as well. So
that's good.
yeah, no problems. We're good.
That's good.
That's
And so you're coming up on 2 years. How has like over time, how has that adjustment been? Going from dating and married, you're combining families and
Well, I mean, I would say like any relationship, you have your ups and your downs, and we're still learning each other. And I'm sure 5, 10 years from now, we're still gonna be learning stuff about each
yeah.
other. We bring
Mhm.
up stories that we haven't heard before, and I'm like, damn, I learn something about you every day or every other day, and same here. It's just like whenever we think of something and like, forgot to tell you this, or I brought this up. But it hasn't been any different than any other couple. Like I said, we have our ups, our downs, our good and our bad, but we come together. We always communicate. And if we have a disagreement, we'll cool off a little bit, go in a separate room, or go to work, and we'll come back together and we'll talk it through.
For me, it was one of the things where, they say when you find that mate, you're supposed to help them. And like, she is my rock in places that I have opportunities, right? So, they say you have your strengths and your weaknesses. So, what we tend to do is we feed off of that. And one of the things that I feel like I help step in and really kind of just jump right into the swing of is being dad. So, that's like something I know that takes a lot off of her. With working with them with their homework, spending time with them, help guide them in their careers in college. Like I literally, that she can say, like I just jumped into that. So I spent the majority of my time being, manager at work, but then dad at home, and then I balance that in with still being, to dating. And when you have high schoolers, and I'm sure y'all already been through this is the time that we gotta get that out the way. Like you have to put that time in because they're too close to adulthood.
Yep.
And once you leave here, you ain't coming back. So no. No, so but
that's what you
no,
that's what you do.
I want to raise them to be independent. So we spend a lot of our time basically really focusing on making sure that we raise them to be independent, knowing that they still gonna call home, but I just wanted to take that off of her. So that's what I spend the majority of my time doing. And then outside of that, we can find like joy in the simplest things. Like just being around each other. We don't necessarily gotta go spend crazy money. We can just go walking around the neighborhood to the park or go to the lake or go walk down by the creek and just hang out with each other.
Or lay in the bed, watch TV.
Or binge watching. Yeah. Let's binge, find something to binge watch.
Yeah. Now, I will say, before he came in, being a single mother of 3, oh my goodness, is extremely difficult. And I mean, it wasn't looking good. So, I thank God every day that he came into the picture because he helped me put them in a straight line. Like my oldest, he was already good to go. He was already about to go off. Oh, he actually had already gone off. So, so it was good to go. But the last 2, particularly my middle child, he was the tough one. It was like he was getting with the wrong people and just get into the wrong things. So, and it was hard for me to try to balance everything, work, bills, it all. It was just really difficult. So when he came in and helped out with that and practically took over, they was like, oh crap, we got a new captain on shit now, So it was like, they can't no longer try to play any games with me, because now there's 4 eyes instead of 2.
Oh yeah, they was trying it.
They was trying.
Of course.
Yeah.
And I love that on both parts. Jaylee, you came in and you saw that need there. We were talking about that earlier. You saw that need there and how that would help her. And then Chana, you were courageous enough to allow that, because a lot of times that's where women struggle, is allowing someone to come in and be that strength and be able to lean and trust that he's going to do the right thing. So that's
right. I have pretty much a good judgment of character. So I knew off top he was a good person, right? I felt it. I knew there was nothing bad about him. And then when particularly my daughter, when she just clinged on to him, that again just reassured me that everything was okay. And then also hearing his backstory as well, and we fill in the gaps for each other where they need to be filled at. Like I literally tell him he was my missing piece that I needed.
I got a story about this specifically.
Go ahead.
Oh, this is a good one.
You want to tell stories now?
No, this is a good one. This is a good one. This is a good one. This is for you. All right. So one day the kids coming home, and I'm an empath. So like if people come home in bad moods, I'm gonna feel it, and then I'm in a bad mood. So and she knows it. Like if and I gotta be careful sometimes because I can do the same thing to other people. So sometimes when I come on a bad mood, the whole house is quiet. So I have to be careful, like when I'm in a bad mood too. So it got to the point where I'm coming home all bubbly and excited to see them, and they just would come home and we talking about that. So I guess one day I'm just emotional in my feelings about the situation. We had left to go do something, and I'm in the car, and I start whining and complaining to her. I'm like, it's messed up. These kids, man, every time I try to come in and smile and play with them, they just always mean me. And she looked, y'all, listen, I'm former military. I ain't never had a pep talk like this a day in my life. I swear to God, she driving. I'm in passenger seat. She say, Let me tell you something. I knew I was in trouble when it started with that. Let me. If you're gonna be in these kids' life, you're gonna be in these kids' life. I need you to step it up. I'm like, she was like,
It wasn't that aggressive.
oh no. Listen, I'm on the receiving my story, man. She was like, I need you to step it up because they're gonna come home like that all the time, and you just gonna have to get over it.
Yeah.
Just know I'm gonna be behind you, and you say something to him because I thought that I was supposed to say, run it by HR before I say something to him.
Right.
And she's like, nah, you upper management.
Okay.
Don't worry. You ain't finna be here paying bills and doing everything like you a dad and not check them if they need to be checked. What she do that for? Floodgates open up.
Yeah.
That is,
and I can understand his hesitation at first. It makes perfect sense, right? Why he wanted to run it by me first.
Right.
Oh yeah.
But I completely, I 100% agree that if we're now together, right, and you are also going to be a part of these kids' life, you're pouring into them emotionally, financially, spiritually, then you should have every right to discipline them as well, right? Discipline them to the point where it puts them in their place, as much as I do, and especially with him. Okay, sorry, it broke up there.
Oh no.
There's so much like there's so much negativity, and that's one of the things that you two knew, and you made a commitment early to each other, and that means that everything that comes along with it, and that means that I'm going to trust you, I'm going to be vulnerable with you, and vice versa, and it shows. That's beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah, I can almost, Jaylee, I'm a very visionary person, so I know how she looked when she was in that car. She turned to you. I know, I can see it.
I knew I did it too, boy. I'm telling you, I knew I was in the hot seat.
He still to this day, just like the other day, he come calling me because him and our daughter had gotten into a little spat via text. So he calls me. I'm out. Now, am I wrong? Or let me get your viewpoint on this.
My referee, because me and my daughter are close. Like we are tight. Like you'd have thought I birthed her myself, but we are tight.
She says that's her BFF right there. I'm out now. She calls him. I'm just like, I'm the only one that she calls. Basically, when she wants to kind of what she wants the yes answer, because he's going to put her through the third degree, if she has to do something. Well, did you do this? Did you do that? Is your homework done? All of that. I'm more of the, okay, you've been doing good. He's like, nah, we need to go through all the basics first, make sure everything is done. So that's when she comes to me. But him, everything else. Even there was even with our middle child, same thing there. It's like he just went off to the Navy, right? And
following in his footsteps.
Oh. And his first call, we both thought it was going to be, to me, it was to him. It was to him. So I was like, wow. I love that because they had a moment where they was going through it,
Right.
But now he just goes to him for everything, and that's the way it's supposed to be. So I love that.
That's beautiful.
But when we look on social media, everybody's complaining about something, and we see these women talking about, he said something to my child, and I had to get him straight. I'm like, how you got a dang stepdaddy, but you don't want him to be my father? Right. Come on.
Right.
And it's good to see that, you from the jump say, hey,
yes,
you here?
Well,
that's good, baby.
Well, what happens is in today's media, they make the stepdads, much like I tell them in my career, sometimes it's a very thankless job. And we come in and pick up all the pieces, but get none of the reward. Sometimes in some situations, we struggle to even be acknowledged as a parent. The kids will call you by your first name from the moment you marry until the day you die. Like, you don't even get acknowledgement of even the title. So there's certain things that come with. I've seen it on the same social media platforms where young ladies, they get with these guys, and then these kids grow up, but the minute that there's some recognition to give to a parent, it's to my biological dad. Like, they don't they don't recognize that, hey, I'm the one here when you're sick, when you need something, when you go into the hospital, showing up to your school. I'm buying your school clothes. I'm working on your car. It's a thankless job sometimes, and so I feel like she did for me. She didn't make me have to go through that. That's what she shielded me from. Like, I don't really know what that's like because she let them know too. Like,
she set the tone. A lot of times women don't set that tone, but I think too it comes with the fact that the two of you put in the work early to get to know each other and to connect with one another, and so there was trust there, and she could set that tone. And a lot of times people get so excited about a wedding that they forget that after that comes a marriage.
Yep.
They're just infatuated with the title, but they don't put in the work. And I see that so much on those social media platforms. I mean, they're quick to throw in the towel or, just married for the wrong reasons.
Right.
Yeah. But him and I have been previously married, so we've learned from our past experiences, shall we say. What two and two not do, So when we met, I knew it had to come from God, because it was like we needed each other both at that time. And we were just tired of the BS that we was going through with my previous relationships. We were just ready. It was like, yeah. So when it happened quickly, but it happened, and we was ready for it.
It happened in the time that you guys, that was made for you.
Right.
What would change if you stopped guessing and start building on purpose?
If you love your partner but feel disconnected, our book was written for you.
Unlocking Forever breaks marriage down into real, usable shifts.
No fluff, no perfection.
Just practical ways to build a marriage that lasts.
You can grab it now. Check out the link in the show notes or the description. And
until next time, we gonna holler at y'all.
Wait.
You know what?
Don't start.
No, because here we go. So
okay.
Now she's a lot more solid, but back then she was like, "Don't you think we're doing this a little bit fast?" And for me, I could see some of that worry because she still was. She was confident, but still doubtful, like wondering kind of that, am I doing the right? Like, and I don't blame her. Like, and this man that came in, swept me off my feet. Am I moving too fast? And I had to explain it to her. I was like, look, I'm getting older. I don't really have time to play house. Like, I don't. So, then we know fairly quick if it's the one. So if you have me proposing to you, saying that I believe that you are the one, I don't need to wait another 2 or 3 years to decide. I already know because we're old enough. Once you hit a certain age, you can tell a good woman, and vice versa. Y'all can tell a good man right off the rip. You can, You sometimes some of them are good wolves in sheep clothing, but when it's a good man, y'all normally be like, I something about him.
I think sometimes people see what they want to see, and they'll ignore what they consider little things. Thinking that, well, once we get married or if we've been together for a while, they won't. No, that's going to make it magnified. And those little things become big things. So
that first time y'all was riding the car and he popped you on your thigh because you said something wrong, and you was like, "Oh, that's cute."
Right. And then a year later, you trying to figure out, I don't know what happened.
Yes, you get here.
Something wrong with that joke. You knew he was unhinged.
Right.
And to this point, so no, I knew that it was the time, but there was still a little bit of fear, because again, it was like I've been previously married. That didn't work out. And then just hearing family members, oh, it's so soon, letting them talk in my ear, but it was like I was battling with that, but I knew it was like he was the one. I knew it, but it was just like I had to get over that fear, and say let's do it.
Yeah.
We earlier we were talking, and we bring all of those experiences with us, um, and so thankfully we have we have spouses who understand that and give
Yeah.
grace when necessary. Because I know he still look he looked at me one day. We're sitting talking, and I said, you might decide that I'm tired of this, and I'm done. And he said, you mean for 26 years? I've been pretending for
Yeah.
26 years.
Yeah, can do that.
And so when you hear something like that, you think, okay, well, that makes sense. But in the moment, like you said, you hear those things, you start to replay things, and it's hard. So I'm just thankful that in 26 years, you were not uh,
Yeah.
acting, or in
Psych.
27, you're
Right,
not acting.
right.
Our goal is
Always somebody
to
else
get this indefinitely.
Really.
Right. So you mentioned earlier conflict, and sometimes I'll go in this room, he'll go in. So one thing that I keep hearing is when people have conflict, they get worried because there's this assumption that there is no conflict, or there's no disagreement. You're married, you're on one accord, but it's not true. So when those conflicts come up, how do y'all tend to handle that? Do y'all handle it the same way? Are you both okay with talking about it then, or does somebody need time to process? Or
So I'm smiling here because
No.
at first I wanted it just to go my way, right? I'm like, nope, we're going to
Yep.
talk about it now, and
Yep.
we're not going to go to sleep until it's talked about. I started to realize that he's not like that. He needs to just sit back a little bit, walk away, to think, gather his thoughts, and then he'll come back to me. And I also have realized about him that he prefers to put his thoughts in writing versus me. I'm the one like I want to talk to you, right? So it's like we might have just gotten to a discussion that our disagreement, and he'll uh, uh, go to work, and now he's texting me, and I'm like, you just left. Why didn't we just talk? Like I'm not doing this.
Gotta
You
read.
know,
I got reason behind that, though. I got
right?
reason
And I
behind that.
understand his reason behind it, right? After several discussions and all. So we've learned each other's quirks, and we've learned how to appropriately handle each other. And I've learned that okay, when he's going through something, or we have particularly a serious discussion, I mean disagreement, then I need to just let him cool off and not keep trying to poke the bear by saying,
Yep.
okay, when is it? So I took it a step further, and I put my um, thoughts in writing, and I sent it to him in a letter form. And he told me, I'm not in the right mind space right now, but we'll get back to it. And a few
And I
days later,
did.
and he did. He did. And we had a long conversation. And I was like, well, I thanked him. I was like, man, this is all I've been asking. But it was like he couldn't express those words just talking to me pretty much without me, because he felt like I was like just kind of hounding him. So I just needed him some time to process it. But once I wrote that letter, he was actually able to read it and even possibly go over it again, just to make sure he didn't miss anything. Because when you're talking, you might miss a lot of stuff. You might focus on one particular section. So I think that was probably the best thing I could have done, was put it in a letter form, and we discussed it thereafter.
Yep.
So yeah, it took y'all 2 years to figure out. It took us what 5 or 6 to
Something
figure
like
that
that.
same
Yeah.
thing out.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
I'm not diagnosed by any means, but I know I have adult ADHD.
Mm-hmm.
you
So
had childhood
she
ADHD
she
too.
was she would why is this and why is that? She on question number 5. I'm still trying to figure out question number 1.
One.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm quiet. I ain't got no answer. You gonna answer me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't come back with nothing. And so then we had to learn. Okay, well,
And
it's probably best I just write this thing down.
I write because my mouth is a little feisty sometimes.
She had to go
So
for,
I
the
had to,
jugular.
yeah, I had to write because sometimes,
both of us can have sharp tongues if we allow. If we got into that space, I know we could, and that's what
Yeah.
my biggest
I'm
fear is.
I'm
So I walk away.
And at
I'm
first,
working.
I couldn't understand that. I'm like, why are you walking away? Like, I just thought that was just disrespectful, rude. I just could not understand it. I'm like, we're in the middle of a discussion, and he just, I gotta go before I end up saying something.
Yeah.
I'm like, not literally leave, but go to another room or something. And I was like, okay, all right, and then we'll discuss it later, But at first, it took me a while. It did. But I understand it now. I just got to let him process it.
That's the same thing we've learned. For me, I need resolution because of the way that I grew up. When there was conflict, somebody's going to get angry. There's going to be chaos, and somebody's going to leave. And so I need resolution. And I had to learn that if I'm pushing him to try and resolve something too quickly, it's just going to get him frustrated because he doesn't have time to process. And then him getting frustrated, I take as he's angry with me.
Right.
So now I got to say some ugly stuff.
And it ain't nothing like, be like, all right, I get back to the house, I'm going to say this. And then that thing don't go like you thought it was going to go. And then it go all the way to the left, and you be like, damn, that didn't work.
But I can tell you this: what we both agreed on from the beginning, that we will not argue in front of our children.
Right.
We will not disrespect each other in front of our children.
Right.
We will not go against each other, in front of our children. So we will take it behind closed doors, or we would even get in the car and leave.
Right.
But it's like we won't do that because we're showing them stability, and that couples argue, and that's perfectly fine, but we don't have to do it in front of them. They don't need to know all of our business.
Right. Exactly.
Right.
Now they can definitely sense when there's something going on because our tone doesn't change, but I'm not all happy, joy. He's not neither. They can sense some little tension, and the first thing our daughter's like, oh Lord, what's going on? Like, she's the one. Do we need to have a sit down and talk?
She's such an instigator, boy. I swear.
She would come, Mom. What's going on? Pops, what's going on?
Straight?
Yeah. So she tries to be the mediator, but girl, we're going somewhere. We good.
Yeah, she's one.
She know when you slamming that pot on the counter. When you slamming the cabinet real hard, she know that ain't normal.
But it's not even none of that. She could just see my face. I'm just not. I'm not looking like my old bubbly self. She could just tell something's wrong with me.
Vice versa. Like, she caught me about 2-3 months ago, maybe longer, but right around that time, and she said, I just want you to know you told me not to be bringing my days home from high school to you, and you're starting to bring your days home from work to me. So I'm just letting you know. And I look like, when your kids say something to you, when you just be like,
I
was that line. Like, how you gonna try to use my line on me? But obviously, she was feeling some type of way, and I wasn't aware of it. So when she did it, I was just like, okay. So
you're right.
I must be bringing home stress from work. So I had to check that.
Yeah, we've been parenting. I'm gonna tell you the good side of that though. Our son, it's been about a year ago now. We were outside. He's working on something. I'm out there with him talking, and our son walked out and he's getting ready to go somewhere. And he looked and he said, "Y'all need any walking around money?"
What?
What grown person have you been around? He said, "Well, I ain't gonna turn it down, but around money.
How much? What you haven't done?
Grandpa, have you been making?" But now we accepted it. But so there's a good side to being parented by your children too.
Yeah.
Anytime we go somewhere and they like, we got it. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're experiencing that now. Yes.
That's good.
As we get ready to wrap things up, what's one thing one separate piece of advice, one from each of you, that you would give to a new couple to help them be successful in establishing that connection and getting their marriage going on a good start?
Oh, that's a good question. I'll, I'm just going to go based off of my personal experience, and I'm just going to say to know the person, definitely get to learn the person, understand the person, make sure that uh, you both have an understanding of each other, your likes, your dislikes, in all aspects. You know, finances, right? Uh, your upbringing with your family,
Mm-hmm,
your
mm-hmm.
how your future's looking, your
Yep.
relationship with your children, right? So you definitely want to take a huge interest in learning that person and that person learning you as well, because there's a lot that you can learn. Now, I can definitely say that when we first started out, I would get like these come up with these games, and they was basically those conversation starter games. And
Uh-huh.
this is pretty much this is how we learned each other a lot. So every night we would just pull out some cards or whatnot, and we'll just go through these cards, and we're just learning stuff. And I even got another suggestion here. So I told him this after the fact. So as I was getting to learn him, like when we were talking over the phone, I had my notepad up on my phone, and he's telling me stuff like telling me how he likes his Chipotle bowl,
Oh,
the
Mm,
ages of his kids at the time, his mother's name, everything you can think
my
of.
shoe
yeah.
size.
I had it in my notes, so I
yes.
I'm
remembered
like,
it.
she is stalking. What's going on with you?
So
You know what?
so
You started it with the dream, though. Now who's talking?
so
Ain't nothing wrong with ain't,
Who's
look,
talking?
ain't nothing wrong with little cheat
You know
sheets.
how I
Ain't
like
nothing
the
wrong with
coffee. I mean, just
yeah,
she
Yes.
because
I'm talking about right off the rip, y'all. Like this is
Yes.
it.
I have a tendency to forget, so I put everything in my notepad, right? But I just took it a step further with him because I wanted him to know that I care and I want to learn. I want to get to know you.
Yes.
You know, so when you ask me to go get you a Chipotle bar, I'm bringing you back exactly what you said, all these 10 extra ingredients that you want on it. You know? So when I brought it back the first time, he's like, "Damn, how do you remember all of that?"
You
So
remember the damn
I
thing?
listened,
Don't
meanwhile,
worry
in
about
my notes and said, "Can I get this?" But
it. Just
I mean,
know
you know, and then
I got you.
I'm also going to say, have fun with each other. You
Yes.
know, joke around. Like I love bringing out my inner kid with him. Like if I can't joke with you, you know,
Mm-hmm.
then I can't. I should be able to be myself with you. You know,
Yes.
Yes.
just have fun. Just be spontaneous. You know, talk to one another, love on one another, keep up the dates. You know, of course they're going to start dying down. You know, I'm not talking about every day, but if you could do at least once every 2 weeks, you know, you work so hard, and then when you
Right.
come together, a lot of people have a tendency just to get on their phones, or it's like you're still at work while at home,
Right.
Mm-hmm.
right? So like let's take that time out and let's make this about us. You know, that's why
Yeah.
he said, you know, we can just be in the bed just watching TV, but the phones are away. You know, we're munching on, we got a whole spread in front of us, you know, just getting fat, you know, but we're getting fat
Get
together,
together, baby.
you know.
Get fat. Yeah.
That's how we did it. Ain't it?
That's how we did it.
Yeah, you know, but I mean, yeah, it's just like don't let that flame die out. And I know, you
Yes.
know, people probably look at this like, oh, what do you know? Y'all only been married 2 years. Man, we've learned a lot in 2 years. And
Yes, you
again, we've been previously married. And I know, do not let that flame die out. You
have.
know,
Yes.
like
Yes.
if it's even close to being out, light it right back up. Do something
Mhm.
spontaneous, and we're good on that spontaneity.
That's
I
right.
I'm just and to speak to what you just said. 2 years, 2 months, 2 days. The fact that the two of you have committed to each other,
Mm.
that's the key. And everything that both of you have spoken to shows that
And
commitment to each
I
other.
hear my favorite word
What's
is
that?
intentional. You guys are being intentional about
Mm,
putting time in each other. You were intentional writing them notes down.
yep.
Yeah.
Make sure I remember this one. Do you know how much of a man he felt like when you brought that damn bowl back? He was like, wait a minute, it's got oh my God.
Everything I wanted.
He had to call. I know, Jaylee, you call somebody.
Nah, because
Bruh.
I had to look down at it.
Bruh, look at-
What happened is, so she would bring me lunch to my desk. A lot of time when we were still working together, like I'm so busy, I won't get up and leave to go to eat. So she'll ask me, "Hey, I'm already out. What do you want?" And she'd be like, "I'm
Yeah.
at Chipotle." She was like, or that particular day, she didn't even tell me she was going to Chipotle. She just set it on my desk.
Yeah.
I was like, oh boy, it's finna be in my brain. I'm knowing, okay, it's finna have a bunch of stuff in it I don't like. I open it up and eating through it. I'm lifting it up. I'm like, oh, she nailed it. So yeah, that stuff like that, and it's the little things. But I will say, if I left one piece of advice for other couples, other upcoming couples, I would say this for the men, fellas. Absolutely, a couple things I'll tell you, and these are going to be ongoing learning experience. Number one, if you consider yourself that man in the house, you're the leader. You're the one that is the head of the household. What that means is you have to be patient, because there's going to be times that your wife is going to be wigging out, and she's going to need you to be the calm, patient one that's going to outthink the situation. And you got to have that patience. Two, you got to have a forgiving heart. You cannot be that person in a relationship, because women will not forget anything. Trust me, they will never let you forget anything. And you have to be willing to let some stuff go. If you can do that, you're going to be just fine. Because if you constantly keep not having the patience, not having that forgiving heart, it's not going to get anywhere. And sometimes it's not, I don't want to say it's like we're being a bigger person, but we got to be logical, stay logical thinkers. We also have to understand our women. So something she said that I was going to key off on, the last thing is you have to study to show that self-approval. What I mean by that is your woman is a forever flower. Every year in fall, she's going to lose her petals. But in spring, she's gonna blossom again, and every year she's gonna blossom with different petals. And you have to learn those new petals every time they blossom. It's never gonna be the same, but it's gonna be a new blossom every spring. So just continue to learn your woman. Always studying her, because then you will know what her quirks are, know her love language, and that will also change over time, which is part of those flowers. Because something you might be the person to try to pick her love language for, and you might think that gifts or acts of kindness is what you use to show your love, and that could be the furthest thing away from what she wants. So learning her love language and identifying when they change. Continue to study her quirks. I study my wife all the time. There's some things I call out for her. I'll tell her, I'll say, you know you do this right, but it don't bother me. I'm just letting you know, since I know you do that, I move like this, and this, because I don't want you to get upset, or I don't want to get upset when these things happen, because I've learned my wife, I've studied her, so certain things I know is coming. Just like she knows me. I get off work, guys, it's a stool in my bathroom. She knows when I get off work, my jeans are going to fall right there on that stool. She fussed at me one day about it, and I looked at her and I said, well, babe, let's look at it like this. You got a man that comes in, he's saving the day, he's out saving the world. I'm coming in saving the kids. I'm doing everything I got to do. I don't go nowhere. I don't have no friends. I'm always with you. I don't even have really many hobbies. And if the only thing you had to deal with was my messy jeans being thrown on the stool, is it really that bad?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
While I do not like it, he does not do that all the time. And mind you, the basket is only like 10 feet away. I didn't say that. But while I do not like it, he does take an effort at times to actually put it in the basket. But sometimes I'll just go behind him and do that. And he does the same with me. So we both have our flaws, but we know how to work with each other.
That, you know what, man? Look here.
Love it.
Y'all got it, man.
Y'all just.
Y'all.
I love
you
it.
on your way.
We're gonna be like y'all. That's
oh my God,
man!
It's so refreshing.
Thank you. Y'all been on it for 2 years.
It's so refreshing. some of the things that we see and that we hear, I start to question myself when I'm like, no, it doesn't have to be that way. Or, make sure that you pick someone who's just as committed. And so I see some things, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this is just a fluke of nature. I just, but the things that you all have said, we had a conversation earlier, and a lot of what you've said, we talked about. We talked about how, like, I have the need for these emotional things, whereas, I think it becomes draining for him if I need him too much. And he says, no, that's what I'm here for. And he says, it doesn't affect me the same way that it affects you. So I can be here for you. And when you're good, I'm good. It's over for me because you're good. So some of the same things that you all have said, and it's just so refreshing. That's beautiful.
Yeah, you guys got it, man. I tell you.
Thank you. We appreciate that.
Yeah,
Has been easy, but hey, we've been working through it. That's for sure.
Well, you guys set a good foundation in this,
Mm-hmm.
intentionally being together and wanting to be around each other, and that is the glue right there. It's hard. Like when I hear people say we just grew apart,
Mm.
and I don't understand it, but I can see how it happens
Right.
because you stop communicating.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
Stop
yeah,
communication. You let life take over,
yeah,
and then that's what happens.
yeah, yeah. I tell you to this day, I tell him, I'm like, when I leave work, because I work from home, but some days I do have to go in. And when he's home or if he makes it home before me, I mean, I'm excited to come home to see him. Like I told him, I still get butterflies in my stomach. You know,
Yep.
I mean, he gets on my nerves sometimes, as I do him. But I love this man. And
Love,
yeah,
love is getting on your nerves 1 minute, and the next minute we gonna give a kiss.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm
And
saying? The next minute we gonna hug.
yeah.
That's love right there.
And he's even done something to me that I have never had anybody do. When we are in between our disagreements, you can tell there's some tension there. He still walks in, grabs me by my face, and gives me a kiss, and hugs me,
Don't do that.
and even talks like, he even talks like, how was, like, like there's nothing going on, but we know there's still that elephant in the room. But
Yeah,
when he's ready to get to it, he'll get to it. But until
Right.
then, it's not like that dismissive type of character.
Right.
yeah, yeah.
Right.
I'm not gonna not kiss you before I go to work. You know what I mean? Or I'm
Yeah.
not gonna not call you when I'm on
Right.
my way home from work. Or you know what I mean? Like, yeah,
Right.
I know this is something I'm still processing or chewing on. That I probably haven't brought back to the table, but I'm not gonna not like open the door for you when we getting in the car
Yeah.
because we got a disagreement that we still chewing on. Like things that I do and am consistent at that never changes.
That's true.
Yeah,
Mhm.
they just get real hard.
Mm.
Yeah.
I'm leaving. Okay. just real hard buys
You
and
want some meat?
little peck.
You want some meat? All right. What you
Yeah,
gonna eat?
I try to act like that, but he won't let me act like that. I try to put my little hard exterior shell on, but because like I said, I'm like I hadn't been used to that. So when
Right.
we're in the middle of a disagreement, this is the type of behavior that I'm expecting, not what he's giving. So and when he first did it, I'm like, okay, maybe
Right.
he forgot about it or something. And then
No, it's
it's
in
like,
bad, right?
and then we talk to each other even from the time he leaves work. And mind you, it's almost an hour ride
Oh wow.
for him to leave work to come home. We're on the phone to the moment he hits that driveway, and then he comes
Oh.
in. And even then, it's not brought up the elephant in the room. So
Mm.
I'm like thinking like, okay, like
Any day now.
any day.
I hear you.
Because my thing,
My
like you
food is
said, I
coming.
want resolution.
Right.
Because if we
Right.
don't talk about it, it's just going to keep building and building eventually, and it's going to blow up.
Mm.
But we come around to it. I just had to
Mhm.
learn that he's not going to let it just linger. But I know that, okay, when he's ready, he's ready. Now if
Right.
it's too long, I'm going to be like, okay, we need to bring this to an end. Okay, like let's
Mm.
discuss this. So yeah, but overall, everything's great.
This has been awesome. This has been
You
awesome.
say you're gonna keep him. That's good.
Oh yeah.
She won't
One more
let me
thing.
leave.
You know,
Got in the room.
I told her
So-
one time, you beat me when I'm asleep, don't you? I wake up sore. I like that. Why am I hurting?
now that reminds me, have either of you awakened angry at the other because of a dream?
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
We've
Oh
both
yeah.
heard
Oh
that
yeah.
story.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
has happened.
Both of us.
Yeah, but we tell each other about our dreams, whether it's good or bad, you know. But yeah, I remember one time I woke up and I just looked at him, gave him that look,
Yep.
and I was just like,
Mhm.
just wanted to just
Yep.
hit him with the ice pick.
Yeah.
But
Wake up and be like, get your leg off me.
You wake up, your woman just get up, throw on her robe, and just cross her arms and just look at you. You waking up, you thinking you coming out of sleep like, hey,
Yeah.
morning, baby. Everything all right?
Look, in my defense, he had the last one. So I woke up to him looking at me. So what?
Why is you touching me?
My dream.
My dream.
they're
What
just so vivid,
You.
right? They're just so vivid, and it's just like, man, it feels so real, you know.
Mhm.
And it's like, man, it just seemed like it was actually happening, and it just
Right.
threw me off,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
So
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's happening.
yeah.
So one more thing before we leave, Jaylee, you mentioned that you had a book that was recently published. So tell us a little bit about your book and how the listeners can find it.
Okay, so I don't know if the camera's gonna pick this up. So the name of the book is called Body Count, and there's a little bit of the graphics here.
Yeah.
And this book is actually about battling some of the demons and dreams we have. And so when you sleep, you battle some of these different entities in your sleep. And in this particular book, the main character Gabriel is battling an incubus. He ends up getting possessed by an incubus, and he's battling a succubus in dream world. And so you can find the book. I'm on Amazon. I'm on Spotify. We put a great deal of time into the audiobook. You can find me on Instagram by typing in by.jaydunn. That's by.jdunn. You can find me on TikTok and just type in the name Adonis, Adontas. You can find me on TikTok, and definitely we have book trailers on our Instagram page, book trailers on our TikTok page. We have the links to if you want to go with the audiobook versus the paperback. I recommend the audiobook. We put a lot of time into the audiobook, so there's sound effects, there's background music. This
All right.
not just your normal audiobook. This thing is interactive, so it'll feel like you listen to a movie. And everyone that has reviewed it and talked to us, they're like, man, I felt like I was there, felt like this should be a movie. And that's the feel we were going for. This is volume 1 of 5. So we're looking forward to sharing this, and hopefully one day y'all see us on Netflix.
Did you say the whole time? You just said
All right. You said audio.
Body
I'm sold.
Count Volume 1, Birth of an Incubus.
You said audiobook, and I'm sold.
Yeah.
So, and we'll make sure to post all of those links also.
Thank you.
We thank y'all so much. This has been phenomenal.
And I just want to put a disclaimer out there. This is sci-fi erotica, so just,
Not safe for work.
Yes.
So,
It's the audio version.
Okay.
But it was a lot of fun.
Earbuds in.
I mean, he started that book years before he met me, and then he finished it when we met and we did the editing together. But he spent a lot of time into this book, and there's more to come.
awesome. That's awesome.
You helped him complete.
She did. I told her that.
He did. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Well, what y'all think? That was damn good to me.
It was very good.
I like
the
that.
amount of wisdom. The amount of
in
wisdom.
a short amount of time, they have got it together,
and it comes from being what?
Intentional.
Yes.
I love it. That was fun. That was. I mean, it just warmed my heart. The fact that those two have got it.
Yep. And you can
such
see
a short
it.
time, you just see it.
They're happy.
Yes.
They're caring for each other. And that's what it's about.
Yes, that's
Yep.
what it's all about, y'all. Well, till next time, we gonna holler at y'all.